Strike Gold Lanes, Cities of Gold Casino in Pojoaque, Pueblo. Title match of today's JBT event. Daniel Hall taking on David Jepson in the scratch title match to the left of the handicapped semis, so we'll talk more about them later. It's been a surprisingly low scoring title match so far. There's two bowlers who haven't gotten this far very often. Maybe a little bit of title match squeezing going on because these guys have been putting up nothing but X's prior to this, especially tournament leader Hall, who has had a legitimate crack at 4 300 games today. But he was able to pull through in one of them, the first effort for his first JBT 300 game. But it's been match play ever since, and all that matters is winning your matches, and he has, and he is in the title match against Jepson, who has never been this far in his JBT career. Yet another two-hander against the very traditional style of Hall. And it said that we announced the title pairs 15 and 16. He said, "Oh no, all the friction," and that ball certainly came back. You can hear that ball just clipping the holes as it goes around there. Looking to become our first Arkansas JBT champion, I'm pretty sure. I've had a few Arkansas bowlers all the years, but never an Arkansas/Utah JBT champion, that's for darn sure. Keeps his thumb out of the ball on his spares. Played off the strike line and just took into it. It's got to move, but it doesn't. And that's a bad mistake there. Opening the fifth puts him behind by 10 pins. His second open of the game. These guys have been throwing 240s, 250s, 260s left and right, and now we're at a 180, 170 pace. Go figure. Win or lose, David's going to take on his twin from another mother, Will Davis, in the U17 title match. He's going to pause and take a re-rack and think it over. Nice mature move there. Plus 100 cut today in the scratch division, much higher than yesterday, and that's one of the higher ones ever. 220 average just to make it into match play. Stand left, throw right, have fun. Now, hit the line much better that time. He held that, followed through, and it never left until all 10 pins evaporated. Best shot of the match for David. So Daniel had that 300. He's had 3 other significant front whatever strings. One of them ended in a solid 9, one of them ended in a solid 8. He has just been murdering the 1-3 all day. It says wheel, it does. 8-10 gone. 10 pin lead still. It's 10 to 20 if you can double up in the second. Daniel throwing the ball much better than the last time we've seen him, obviously putting some work in his game as he's headed off to college bowling and college life in Kansas. Top seed Morgan Ellis lost in the last round. She's awaiting Callista Fritz to play the girls scratch. That looks great, yeah. Now those title match jitters starting to evaporate a little bit as Hall puts together the first double of the match. But a chance for Jepson to answer right here and tie up this game. Mom right down there, camera right. I don't think Dad wants to be seen. Team Hall hanging out over here. You can barely see them in the sunlight. They look angelic. Big shot for David right here. Holds it. Hold. Oh yeah. He held the follow through and I said ask if the ball was going to hold. It did long enough. Game on. Second to last event in New Mexico, Texas this season, still the next month, and then an invitational already. I feel like we just got started, and it's time to think about the big bucks of invitational time. At this point on, it might be whoever blinks first loses, as David can tie up the match. 8th frame. Can't throw it any better than that. 10 in the pit, tie game. Adjustments have been made. nerves have been calmed. Now it's just about doing what you both have been doing all day long. The only thing I know for sure about today is that the Robbins' dad is not getting his belt back. It's Mr. Robbins' belt. Oh! Great shot, pured it. Just a rotten time for a ring and 10 right there. Yesterday he finished third with some very ill-timed bad carry. He finished his last match pocket 7-10, ring and 10, messenger 10 that missed. Meanwhile, Dio rolled a 3-pin to beat him, so that was a tough way to go. And Paul hopefully is not thinking too much about deja vu all over again there, because you got to keep those kind of thoughts out of your mind and worry about them later. One pin deficit with that, but advantage Jepson as he's sitting there on the strikes. There's Daniel with more experience in this scenario though, too, so anybody's game, just perform in the 9th and 10th. That's what every bowler wants to do. Good ball. No question there. Well, this Arkansan has a chance to step up here and shut out Daniel before he can throw his next ball. All going to only max at 215. In order to shut him out, he's got to go all the way off the sheet. Tie possibilities ensue. Anything can happen. Don't get these chances very often, and he's going to take a little more time to do it. Doesn't feel right. If your body and mind aren't set to go, back off. It's a mature move. Boy. Sort of a second little false start there. Must be watching all the videos of Solomon. Sorry, Solomon. Had to go there. Took his time and made the shot of his life. A guy who has not been in this situation, coming through in spades. So now let's set it up here. Paul going at a 195 pace. That's his score on the left. Jepson here on the right. 9 spare strike is 106, 136. This time at a 205. Going to take another rewrite. 205 with 9 spare strike. Daniel, of course, strike 9 spares, and he'd be at 204. So, count vitally important. Strike 9 spare would be 215, right? And 215, forcing Daniel to get all 3 to win. David finds a way to double. He'll find his way into the winner's circle. Here we go. Wider. It held. 10 back once again. And after 6 hours of an extremely high strike percentage, just needs 1 more. Less than 1 more and Daniel has a chance. Just in case Clifford doesn't win, there's his outfit today. Williams' outfit will not be shown on camera. Alright, it's Dallas. A lot of time once again. Redrag's fine. I'm not always a big believer in taking too much time because you fall out of your rhythm, but it worked really well for him so far, so maybe that's not a bad thing for him. Alright, here we go. Strike to win. Nope. And Daniel Hall is going to have a chance to take this title back. See how he didn't hold that follow through that time. He knew that he had leaked that right early. It checks. Important that he gets the spare here, though. He missed a left side spare earlier in this match, or it would already be over. How often does it come down to spares, no matter what the strikes are? Keep maximum pressure on Daniel by covering this up. He would need 3 to win. As the spare, great recovery from where he was in the 5th frame to get to that 214, but all he can do is sit back and say a few words to himself as Daniel gets the dream scenario. All 3 to win by a stick. Far his best JBT performance. I'm sure the best performance of his life. 250 plus average. Here he doesn't go. I think they were calling back a machine call over there, and he was up very fast anyway. All right, Daniel, full reset here. We got a couple Solomons going at it. The right thing to do in both their cases. Without further ado, first of 3 mandatory. Nope. Nope. Slow and left the whole way. Didn't look good from the start. I think his legs were a little wobbly. That second step, you know, I'm watching this live, so, but I feel like that second step, things went wrong with the approach, and that caused him to pull the ball just a little bit, not get the speed on the ball that he had. Doesn't get the break to have it hold, and David Jepson is going to win it all. He's got to go get it. Well, maybe he'll make a 410 on camera. And it's going to be a heartbreaker to bowl as well as he did all weekend and come out with 3rd and 2nd. But first 300 game, 250 plus average, which didn't go down that much in the semis either. And these are all superlatives that he'll be very happy about later, and right now send him to the bar for a root beer. Meanwhile, I know David feels bad for Daniel, but he has got to be doing cartwheels on the inside. Oh, make it. Oh, I thought he had it. Oh, not to be. And David Jepson, welcome to the JBT winner's circle. My goodness. See if he can double up his wins with a U17 title here against Will coming up next.